Today I'm going to show you how to make an amazing Parallax WordPress website. Hi, my name is Hogan and welcome to this tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to build this amazing Parallax WordPress website, and this tutorial isn't for people who want to learn how to code a website or build a website that is like Facebook or Amazon, but if you want a website up and running within a few hours that is simple and clean and modern without learning a line of code, then this tutorial is for you. So this video is basically perfect for freelancers, online entrepreneurs, small to medium sized business owners, or even if you want to be a future web developer, then it's great. Okay, so by the end of today, you'll have a fully functional website that is SEO friendly, WooCommerce compatible, meaning that you can add a shop to it, it loads quickly, and is also super mobile responsive. So let me give you a tour of the website and show you how it works and what I'll be covering in this tutorial. Okay, so let me show you a demo of how it works. So basically inside the website, and let's turn on that builder, and I'm super excited because it's really amazing. Basically you've got all these different modules which are built in, and you can drag it to these different sections on your website, and it saves a lot of time. You don't have to download anything additional, but I'm going to show you how to create this hero image, which is a parallax scrolling background, and it's really cool. But something that's really even more cool is that you can add in gradients for your background, a video background, or a slider type of background as well. Okay, so you can set that in really simply. You just have to upload the images, and I'll show you where to get amazing images for free as well. So then I'll show you how to add in this text. Okay, really simple to edit. It's just like a word editor. So if we delete that text, change the text, and you can just click on save, and basically you're done. So I'll show you how to add in your buttons, all the text here for your quote section. It can be a mission statement. I'll show you how to add in this image here, as well as this featured module. Okay, so you can just drag and drop it, and if you make a mistake, then you can just undo it. You can also save the revision, and if you make any like big mistake, then you can load the revision. Okay, so you don't have to start over again. And for these different sections, you can actually drag the whole entire section. So for example, for this gallery, you can move it up here above the service section like that. So it could be about me and then gallery section like that. Okay, that's really up to you how you want to change the layout of the page. You can change the colors like that. But with the gallery section, it's really cool because you can showcase your work, and when people click on it, it opens up in a lightbox. Okay, so when people click on it, they can view your work like that. And I'll show you how to add in this video section, which is really cool because when people are watching that video, the background is darker. Okay, so it focuses the attention on that video itself. Okay, scrolling down, I'll show you how to add in this blog section, and I'll show you how to add in blog posts as well. So how to add in text and images and video, and also how to customize the widget area. Okay, and scrolling down, I'll show you how to add in this parallax background with these icons. Okay, and this map as well, this Google map. And then I'll show you how to customize the footer section, as well as add in the social media icons. And when people click on it, it scrolls them back up, so that's really good user experience. And if we scroll down like that, you'll see the header design is also a sticky, so it stays up there and it provides a really great user experience. And what's really cool about it is actually a one-page website, so people can click on the different sections and it'll scroll them down. Okay, but you can create as many pages as you want. But if you know how to create the first page, then you'll know how to create any other page. For example, you could create a page like this. Okay, and this has some really awesome parallax features. Okay, so this is a layout which is actually built in to the theme, but I'm actually going to show you how to build the website step by step, so you have a good understanding and have the skills to edit your website. Okay, that way you're going to enjoy it a lot more. Okay, so if you want to check out all the layouts, you can check out the demo website in the description, so parallaxdemo.com. And let's go back to our homepage. You can also add in a shop as well, but I'm not going to be showing you how to set up that in the tutorial, because that's going to make the tutorial too long. Okay, but it's actually really easy because it uses a really simple plugin called WooCommerce. Okay, so if you click on that, and that shows your product, and people are able to buy from your store. And this website is actually super mobile responsive, so it'll scale down really well on all mobile devices, on tablets and things like that. Okay, as you can see, it looks really awesome. And that's basically it. Okay, so basically if you like what you see, follow this tutorial and I'll show you how to make this website step by step, and you're going to have an amazing, clean, modern website by the end of today. So I'm going to go through an overview of what we need to get started. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to go through exactly what you'll need. So the first thing that you'll need is a domain name, and basically that is your web address. So for example, Google's domain name is google.com. Your one will basically be your name or your businessname.com. And the second thing you'll need is hosting. And hosting is basically where all your website files, for example, your text and your content, your images are stored, so people all around the world can access it 24/7. Okay, so those two things are must-haves, and all websites that you see online have those two things. Okay, so if you have those two things, then you can skip ahead. Okay, the third thing that we'll need is to install WordPress. So WordPress is basically a content management system, and basically all that means is a platform where you can build your website and you don't need to know any code. Okay, and installing the theme, this is basically the drag and drop builder that we'll be using, and that is amazing. Okay, so we're going to go through the cost. So for a domain name, normally it costs you around $13 a year, but I have a coupon code which will get you a domain name for $5.99 for a year. And for hosting, it normally costs you around $10 a year. I mean $10 a month, sorry. $10 a month, but I also have a discount code, and then I think it would be $8 something. So around $8 per month. And install WordPress, that is free. And installing the theme, it's also free. So the total cost to start, it's around $14. So $8 a month would be about 30 cents a day. So that's really affordable, and it's really cheap to get started. Okay, so if you have any questions, make sure to drop it down in the comment section, and we're going to begin. Okay, so you can open up your browser, and then either click the HostGator link in the description below, or you can just type it in here. So type in hostgator.com and then hit on enter. Okay, so I've basically been using HostGator for about 5 to 6 years now, and they've got amazing live chat support, so you can contact them if you have any issues, and they're affordable, and they've got a money back guarantee. So let's click on get started now. Okay, so normally I recommend getting the baby plan, normally because you can host unlimited domains. So for the hatchling plan, you can only have one single domain name. So with the baby plan, you can share it with your friends or your family, and it's just the best option. Okay, so business plan is probably a bit too much for what you need. So we're going to click on sign up now. So we've got to enter in a domain name. So you have to sort of choose a domain name, and sometimes it might not be available. So you might have to try again. Okay, so Parallax demo, and then click on the outside here. If it's available, it'll give you a tick. If it's not, it'll become an X. Okay, so I normally recommend you pick a .com extension, normally because people type that in to their browser. Okay, because if you get like a .club, if people type in a .com, they don't reach your website, then you've lost some traffic. Okay, so we're going to scroll down, and for the domain privacy protection, we're going to untick that. And then we're going to scroll down here to the package type, and we're going to select the baby one. And I recommend choosing 12 months because you get a bigger discount, but you can go to month to month if you need. But normally, if you're building a website, you're probably going to have it for more than a month anyway, so you just get a bigger discount. So I'm going to go 12 months. Okay, so for your username, you just need to type that in, security pin, type that in, and then all you need to do is to fill in your billing information here and your credit card details. You can also pay by PayPal as well, and you'll be asked to log into your PayPal account after when you check out. Okay, so I'm going to quickly fill those in. Okay, so after you've filled your details in, then you can scroll down and you'll get the additional services. So we're going to untick all these services because you probably don't need them at the moment. And if you follow my channel, I've actually made videos to show you how you can set these up for free, okay, using some plugins. So scroll down and you'll enter a coupon code here. So type in Hogan Chua, HOGAN and then click on validate. Okay, so this basically gives you a bigger discount. Okay, so as you see here, you get a 35% discount, and you also get a $5.99 domain name. Okay, so after when you've done that, then you can click on I've read the terms and services, and then just click on checkout now. And then after when you've checked out, then you'll either get a PayPal login where you have to log into your account and then pay the amount, or you'll get a confirmation page that looks like this. Okay, and then once you've got that confirmation, then we'll need to go back to our email to check our details to log into our cPanel to install WordPress. Okay, so log into your email account and you should get an email something like this: HostGator, your account information. So just click into that, and what I want you to do is click on the control panel URL, and then you'll need to copy over your username. Okay, copy that to your clipboard, and then also copy over your password, and basically paste your password and username into here. Okay, so I'm just going to type mine in because I've changed mine, and then click on login. Okay, so once you've done that, then I want you to scroll down. Let's just close that for now. Scroll down to software and services and click on quick install. Okay, wait for that to load. Okay, so you can either click on WordPress here to install WordPress, or you can scroll down and click on install WordPress here. And I want you to click on install WordPress. Okay, and click on this drop down, and you should only have one domain. As you can see, I've got a few domain names. So let me try find that, Parallax Demo. And leave this one empty. For your admin email, type in your email address. For the blog title, so this is the title of your website, I'm just going to name it logo for now, and you can change that later on, so don't worry about that. Your admin username, so this is your login username. Okay, and that's about it. So click on install WordPress, click on no thanks, I'm a web designer, and that'll take about 30 seconds to install the WordPress on your new website. Okay, once that is done, then click on view credentials, and let's click on the admin area. Okay, sometimes if you've just bought your domain, it might not actually be up yet because it takes time for HostGator to set it up on the back end. Okay, so hopefully it's up by now. Click on that. Okay, so luckily it's up for us. Now, if it's not up yet, maybe take a 15-minute break or something. Worst case scenario, will be about 24 hours. But normally it's pretty fast. Okay, so copy over your password and your username. Let's type in my username here. Oops. And paste in my password. Click on login. Okay, so congratulations, we've basically installed WordPress, and this is your WordPress dashboard. Okay, so it looks a little bit overwhelming at first, but it's really not. We can close a lot of these things. This is basically our dashboard to control everything. Okay, so let's go to visit our website and see how that looks. Okay, so our website is pretty plain now, and it's got no content or anything, so it doesn't have the drag and drop builder because we haven't installed the theme. So we're going to go back to our dashboard and we're going to configure some basic settings. So let's close these things to clear things up a little bit. Dismiss that, close that, close that, close that, and close that. Okay, so that's cleared up everything. Now what we want you to do is go to users and click on your profile. So we just want to set in a new password, so easier password so you can remember. Click on generate password, and I'm going to hide that. and I'm basically going to set in a new password. You don't have to, but then you'll have to remember this password. Okay, but they've emailed you this password anyway. Okay, so let's go to confirm that and update profile. Okay, so once that is done, then I want you to go to settings and click on permalinks, and I want you to click on post name. So basically what this does is it sets the title of the post or the page in the URL, okay, because you don't want a URL structure that has question mark p equals 123, because that doesn't explain anything to your user and it's not good for search engines. Okay, scroll down and save. So once you've done that, then I want you to go to plugins and click on plugins. And basically plugins are sort of a application that enhances the functionality of your website. So for example, on your phone, you've got apps, like for example, you got Pokemon Go, you got WhatsApp, Instagram. Those are all apps for phones, but plugins is sort of for websites. Okay, so we're going to deactivate these. So select all and deactivate first, apply. And I want you to delete them because it might conflict with our WordPress builder thing. Okay, so select it again and delete. Apply, and that's done. Okay, so we've basically configured the basic settings. Now I want you to click on appearance and click on themes. So we're going to install the Ultra theme by Themify. That includes the drag and drop builder. Okay, so if you look below the video in the YouTube description, there's a link there to download that theme. So click on that theme and download that to your computer. And you've also got another link there, which includes the contents of this tutorial. So it's got the images and everything, so you can follow along step by step, and it'll be awesome. Okay, so download that onto your computer, and it should look something like this. Okay, it should look something like Themify ultra.zip. Okay, if it automatically compresses into a folder like that, then you'll need to right click it and compress it back into the zip file. Okay, so I don't want that anymore. This one will appear in a zip file, and then you can double click it or you can right click it to open it up, and it basically includes all the images that we'll be using. Okay, so once you've done that, then we're going to go back to our website and we're going to click on add new, and then we're going to click on upload theme. Click on choose file, and then we're going to go to desktop, and I'm going to find the files. Okay, and click on open. Okay, so make sure it's a .zip file that you're uploading. Click on install now. So that's going to take a minute or two. You can see the progress down here, but if you have any issues installing that theme, then make sure to go to my website, hoganchua.com, and then go to my FAQ, scroll down to theme installation, and if you read these, it'll probably help you out. Okay, if you still can't fix it, then make sure to leave a comment down below. So let's go back here. Okay, so once that is done, you should get a theme installed successfully. Then I want you to click on activate, and that will basically activate the theme for us. Okay, so I want you to click on X. Okay, so don't import that, click on X. Okay, and once you've done that, you can dismiss this notice up here. Okay, so let's take a look at our website now. So visit our website. Okay, so this is the website with the theme installed. As you can see, it looks a lot better, but we're still got to configure it so before we start actually building the website. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is adding in some pages. Okay, so to do that, click on the dashboard again, and then hover over pages and click on add new, or you can just click on that. And then I want you to delete the sample page first, okay, because you don't want that. So trash that, and click on trash again, and delete permanently for that page. Okay, and click on add new, and I want you to type in home. Okay, this will be our home page, and that's basically all you need to do. So click on publish, and if you want to add additional pages, this is where you add your pages. All you need to do is click on add new, type in the title of your page, and then update. Now, because this is a one-page website, I won't be showing you how to build and add these new pages, but you can definitely add it on later on. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is I want you to go to Appearance and then click on Menus. Okay, so I'm going to open up a demo website that I built before so I can refer to it. Okay, so let's click on that. Okay, so basically for the menu name, I want you to type in top navigation. It doesn't matter what name you set it as, it's just for you as a reference. Click on create menu, and then what I want you to do is, if you have pages here and you want to add it to your menu, this is your menu, then you need to select it and add to menu. Okay, and that will appear here. Okay, because this is the home page, we probably don't need that, because people know that when you click on the logo, it'll go to the home page, so it's sort of like a waste of space. Okay, so I don't do that, but what we're going to be doing is setting in some custom links. Okay, the custom links are the links up here, which basically will link to our different sections on our website. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is clicking on that, and I want you to copy your URL. You don't want anything after that /, so you don't want WP admin or anything like that. You just want your website URL. Copy that, select that, and paste that in. Okay, make sure that is correct, and then when you've done that, then type in hash and then in lowercase about. Okay, for your link text, this will be about, and then click on add to menu. So once you've done that, then I want you to repeat the process. This one will be for services. Link text will be services. So the name, it could be work or anything like that. It doesn't really matter, but probably just follow along for now, and then you can edit it later on. Paste it again. The next part will be gallery, I think. Oops, forgot to add in the title. Next one will be blog. Add to menu. Okay, close that. And next one will be contact. And then link text will be contact. Add to menu. Okay, so once you've done that, then if you want to, when you create new pages, you want it to automatically add into your navigation menu up here, then you can select this thing up here, which I will. And for the theme location, you have to select main navigation. Okay, so it will actually appear up here. Okay, and then click on save menu. Okay, so once you've done that, then I want you to go to visit website, and that will be your website and your menu up here. Okay, and if we go back to our dashboard, I forgot to show you something that's really important. Let's go back to our pages, and we created the home page. Okay, if you click on view, you'll see that it has /home and then /. Okay, the home page is not actually something just like that with a plain domain URL. Okay, you want to set it to this URL here. Okay, you don't want it to have /home at all. Okay, so to do that, what I want you to do is click on customize. Okay, sometimes it takes a few seconds to load. It will automatically take you to Themify options. Click on back, click on static front page, and you want to set a static page, and for your front page you want to select home. Okay, save and publish, and then close that. Okay, so for your home page right now, it will be just your domain URL .com. Okay, so that's what you want, and only then you'll be able to see the Themify builder. Okay, so now what we're going to do is configure some of the Themify settings, and also to set in the header and also the page layout. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back to our dashboard, hover over Themify Ultra, click on Themify settings, and then the first thing I want you to do is scroll down, and for the Google fonts, I want you to select show all Google fonts. Okay, so it will show more fonts that you can use for your website. So you can click on save, and once you've done that, then I want to click on default layouts, And default layouts is basically where you can set the default page layouts for your posts or your pages. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to right click and visit our website. Okay, open a new tab so you can see what is going on. And then, for example, if we want to set our page layout, we'll scroll down. Okay, this is where you set your post layout. Page layout is down here. Okay, so we've got the sidebar here and we've got a title here. Okay, we don't want that. So for the page sidebar option, we want no sidebar, and we want to hide the title on all the pages, and we don't want people leaving comments on our pages. So we want to select that and then click on save. And then I can just refresh that and you'll see that it should be gone. Okay, so you've basically got a blank canvas to work on, and that's great. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is setting in the header. So let's go to theme settings here, and if you scroll down to the theme appearance here, then you can look at header design, and I want you to select the, I think it was the 9th option. So this is the header that we want. Okay, so let's select that and save it, and let's give that a little refresh. Okay, and that's basically the header design that I want. Okay, so you've got a lot of options there, but I want mine just nice and simple. Okay, you can disable the sticky header if you want to. So the sticky header is, for example, if you're scrolling down, the header actually stays there. I feel that's quite nice for good user experience, but that's up to you. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to exclude the site tagline, the search form, and exclude the RSS. Okay, so this is the tagline, this is the RSS, and this is the search. So we're going to exclude that. Okay, and then what we're going to do is save it and give that a little refresh. Okay, looking awesome. Okay, since we're here, I'm also going to show you the settings for the footer. Okay, if we scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the footer design. Okay, so I'm going to exclude the site logo for the footer, and this is basically the back to top button. I like that, so I'm going to leave that there. And some of you might want to remove this thing here. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. Now we're going to scroll back down, and you should see footer text 1 and footer text 2. Okay, so basically this is the footer text 1, this is footer text 2. If you want to remove this, then all you need to do is to hit on space and then just click on save, and that will remove that for you. And let's give that a little refresh. Okay, that's nice and simple and done. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is adding in the social links for your footer. Okay, so to get the important things out of the way first, so let's go to social links here, and basically all you need to do is paste in your profile URL. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. Okay, so copy over your Facebook URL, go back to the website, paste the Facebook one into there, close that, get your Twitter one, copy that, paste it into there. If you have Google Plus, or if you don't, then you just leave it empty and it won't show up. But if you do, then you can just copy that over. YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. It'll be awesome. So let's paste that into there. And let's say you have Instagram or you have something, but it just doesn't show up here. Okay, so you can add that on. All you need to do is click on add link, and let's type in Instagram, and the link you can just copy over your profile link, paste it into there, and you need to click on insert icon. And we've got all the icons here. Just click on brand, scroll down to Instagram, and once that is done, then that is done. Okay, so you can rearrange everything just by dragging and dropping, and that's pretty much it. So you can set the icon color and the background color, but for this tutorial we don't need to, and just leave it empty for now. So let's click on save, and what you need to do now is you'll need to go to appearance, go to widgets, and then you'll need to go to Themify social links. You need to hold it and drag it, and you'll need to put it into footer social widget, okay, and drop it into there, okay, because these are external links linking out to another website. I want to open the link in a new window, okay, and I'm going to click on save. Once that is done, then we can visit our website. Hopefully it will show up. Okay, awesome. So we've got our social links down, and I'm just going to quickly close these windows. Okay, so the next step is showing you how to change the colors and where you can add in your logo and things like that. So we're going to click on customize here, and then wait for that to load a little bit. Okay, so we'll be in the Themify options. Click on the advanced or more options, and then basically to change your logo, all you need to do is click on site logo and tagline. So click on that, click on site logo. If you have a logo already, then you can click on logo image, and you can upload your image through here. Okay, so your logo has to be a .png file. That basically means it's a transparent file, and that is the best file to use. Now you want to also change the size, so you can change the size here, and if you want to move the logo position, then you can select this option here, okay. But for now, if you don't have a logo, then what you can do is just select site title and enter in whatever site title you want, and then you can pick from the hundreds of different fonts here, okay. So for example, I'm just going to pick on Open Sans, okay, and I'm just going to save it as maybe 16 pixels, or I don't know, maybe 24 pixels, like that. And then I can change it to bold, okay, and I might change the color to white, okay, because I'm going to set the header color to a dark gray, okay. So once you've done that, then you just close that like that, and then if you want to edit the background color of your header section, then you'll need to click on header, and that will be your header wrap, okay. So the header wrap color would be probably a 3B3B, okay. It's a nice neutral color, okay. Either go for a dark gray or a white color, okay. So I'm going to be going through some design tips in just a moment, okay, because a lot of people they go off to build their own websites. They don't really follow the rest of the tutorial where I give you these tips and things like that, and the website doesn't turn out that great. I know that because a lot of people send me the URL because they have problems with the website and things like that, and it just doesn't look good, okay. And if your website doesn't look good, then people are just going to click off your website in a second, and there'll be basically no point in building a website in the first place, okay. So I'm going to explain those tips in a second. If you notice that on the demo website, we actually have a transparent header. The reason why we set a dark gray header is because not all pages can be transparent, okay. So you're going to have to set a background color regardless, okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to close that and close that, okay. So I'm going to explain some basic design techniques. I'm not a designer, but these are some of the really important tips that I've learned when building my websites, okay. So these are like tips that top websites such as Apple, Uber, Tesla, they all use these techniques. You could ignore this if you're like a designer or something like that, but if you're just beginning, then I recommend you watch this part, okay. So the first rule or the first tip is that I recommend sticking to one font family. For example, if you go to apple.com or if you go to tesla.com, uber.com, they don't use many different fonts, okay. So this is a Chrome extension called What Font, and you can basically see what font they're actually using, okay. And they don't have 3 or 4 different fonts. You don't need to make it really fancy by using a lot of fonts. Just stick to one, especially if you're just starting out, okay. And there are 2 different types of typefaces. One is called sans serif, which is the sort of a modern and clean type, whereas serif is a little bit more traditional, and it's really good for long reading for blogs and things like that. But if you just want to build like a modern website, then I've got some recommendations. So Open Sans, Lato, or Roboto, and you can also try Railway, Monster Rat, and PT Sans. Okay, so the second tip is to choose just one main color. Again, you don't need a lot of different colors to make a website look great. Okay, so as you can see, Apple, they just keep it nice and neutral. It looks really simple and nice. Okay, so what I recommend is going to a website called Kahlua. I think that's how you pronounce it. Let's click on that, and also check out some color meanings. Okay, so colors are really important because each color represents a different sort of perception and feeling. Okay, you don't want to pick the wrong color, for your business. So read up on that and choose the right color. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but click on Advanced and proceed to that website. Okay, so you can look at this website and you can, let's say you pick a blue sort of theme, you pick a blue color, click on that, and you can click on edit, and then you can get the color code here. Okay, so after when you've done that, then scroll down. So I recommend using a lot of neutral colors, especially to separate your content. For example, if you go to Apple and if you go to one of their pages, for example this Mac page, and if you see they have the white background and they separate the content with with a gray background. Scroll down and you'll see that they separate the content white background with a light gray background, and also a divider line with the gray, which is a neutral color. Okay, and you can also use the neutral color for your header sections and also your footer sections, and also anywhere that you don't know which color to use. Okay, and also make sure to separate your content. Okay, so use a lot of white space because white space makes things look really simple and clean, and also use divider lines as well as background colors such as this dark gray. Okay, and then make sure to crop your images before you upload. Okay, I'll be showing you how to do that in the tutorial itself, but if you don't follow along, then this is the ideal size to crop your images at. So 1800 times about 1000 for your hero images, and hero images are basically the image that goes from here to the other side. Okay, and then for your blog featured image, I recommend 1165 pixels times about 665 pixels. Okay, so your blog feature post are, for example, let's scroll down here. Okay, so that's your featured post. Okay, so that's the size I recommend. And for your body font, you want it to be between 15 to 25 pixels. Okay, as you can see, like a 28 pixel font size is a little bit too big and doesn't look very professional. Okay, what I recommend is around 16 pixels. That is the best size that I've found. Okay, and for your line length, you want it to be between 45 to 90 characters across. Okay, to keep it easy to read. You don't want like a line of text which is like this. Okay, it goes from there to there. It's just really hard to read. Okay, so you want to make sure that it is between 45 and 90. And when you're using headlines and subheadlines, make sure to define some sort of hierarchy using your font size and colors and also the boldness of the text. For example, this is a good example, but this is not so good. Okay, the reason why it's not so good is because when you're first looking at it, it's sort of like you don't know which line to focus on. Okay, because they're both like the same color and they're both bold. You want it to be something like this. Okay, like bigger, bolder, and then a lighter color like this. Okay, it just looks a lot better. And then I recommend not using pure black for your backgrounds or with your text. So I recommend using dark gray instead. And if you'll notice, like when you go to any website, you'll notice that they don't use pure like 100% black. It'll either be like a really dark gray or just a gray color. Okay, so if you go to Apple, this is not black font. This is like a really dark gray font. Okay, this is not black either. It's really, really dark gray. Okay, because the reason is it's just too much contrast between the white and the black. And then last one is to organize all your content and all your images before you actually build your website, and it will make things a lot easier. And I also recommend, taking a look at websites that you like, and forming your layout. So that's pretty much it, and I'm basically going to start building the website now. Okay, so I'm just going to close all those. I'm going to leave that one. Okay, and okay, so back to our main navigation section here. Okay, so this will be the main navigation, and the menu container is basically, we can edit the location. So we're going to set that to relative. Okay, so once you've set that to relative, then we're going to make sure that is sort of centered. So I'm going to type in 3 pixels, and you'll see that it moves down. Okay, we're going to minimize that, and for the menu link, we're going to click on that, and we want to make sure the menu link is Open Sans as well. Okay, so Open Sans is the font that I'm going to be using on this entire website, but a funny thing is, by default, it's already Open Sans. Okay, so whatever font that you've chosen, then make sure to apply it here. Okay, and its size, I'm going to set it to 16. And then for the menu link, I want to change the color to white. Okay, but you'll notice that it doesn't actually change the color. Okay, so just set it to white regardless, because we need to set the menu active link for these colors here. Now for the menu link hover, I want you to set this to a sort of a light gray. Okay, so it will be E6, E6, E6. Okay, so this keeps things really professional. So when you hover over it, this link will actually be white, and I'll show you in a second. So this is the menu active link. Okay, the reason why it's the active link is because we're actually on the home page at the moment, and all these links are actually on the home page. So I'm not sure if you know what I mean, but for example, if I am on the Mac page, then the active link color right now is gray. Okay, so if we go back here and we change the menu active link color to white, then it will be white. Okay, and when you hover over that, it will show up as a light gray. Okay, for your menu active link hover, we want to keep it consistent, so make sure it's the same as the menu link hover. So copy that to here and paste that in there. Okay, and once that is done, then that is all good. For the drop down container, that basically means the settings for the drop down box. Okay, so you can set the styling for that as well. Okay, now the next thing we're going to be setting is the footer section. Okay, for the footer, we can click on the footer, and it's pretty nice having a white footer already, so you can keep it that way if you want to, but for this tutorial specifically, I'm going to change it to dark gray. So I'm going to change it to 2929, and 2929 is a little bit darker than our header. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is setting that, and then go into footer font and changing the footer font to white so we can actually see the text. And this is a link. Okay, so we'll need to click on footer link and also change that to white. Okay, and that looks pretty good. And that's about it. So you've got also other settings here, but I'm not going to play around with those. Okay, everything looks good, and we're going to click on save. Close it, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so the next part is really important. It's the first row where we'll be setting in our hero image, the parallax hero image that you see here. Okay, and this is really important because this is basically the signage for your business. Okay, you want to make sure that it is clean, and also the image is not blurry, and this is probably the most important part. Okay, so let's go and find our images first. Okay, so I've got some really good places where you can get images, and you can go to unsplash.com, and you've also got another place called stocksnap.io and another place called Pixabay. Okay, so all these 3 places, you can get the images from here, and you can use it for free without crediting the author of the image or anything like that, and even for commercial purposes. Okay, so this is a really popular website, and you can use these ones too if you can't find any images. Okay, if you still can't find any images, then I recommend checking out photojune.net. Now this is where you can get images from $1, and they basically have a bigger library. Okay, so choosing the right image is really important because you don't want to misrepresent your business or your service. So for example, if you go to a restaurant or something and you see a salad, like a picture of a salad, sorry, and basically when you order it and then you get that salad, it looks nothing like the one in the picture. Okay, so that you're not meeting the customer's expectation, and that's not good at all. Okay, so you want to pick a correct image that represents your business. Okay, so for example, I'm going to show you how to download it, and then we're going to crop it. So let's say you like this image here. I'll click on that. All you need to do is click on download, and that should load up. Okay, really awesome image. Right click and basically save that image onto your computer. Okay, create a folder and make sure everything's organized. Okay, but I've already got all the images, and you can basically download the images to follow along the tutorial. It's in the YouTube description. Okay, so once you've got that image on your computer, then I'm going to close all these, and then we're going to go to a website called photo.com. So this is basically where we're going to edit our images. Okay, and I like this because you're able to add text to it, you're able to enhance the image. The default WordPress one, you're not able to do that. So after when you've downloaded it, click on open, and I'm going to go to my contents folder. Okay, and this is the image that I've chosen. So if you've downloaded the contents, then select hero image uncropped. Open, and then close that. And you'll notice that the image here is like really, really big. And you don't want a really big image because it's going to take too long to load, and people are going to click off your website if it takes too long to load. So click on resize and click on the lock, so it makes sure everything changes proportionally. And I want you to type 1800, and that's a good size. Then go to crop. Okay, type in 1800 again, and type in about 1000 in height. Okay, so I found that a good height for the hero image. And then I'm going to move it to wherever you want. I'm going to put it probably just a little bit above that person's head. Okay, and click on apply. And afterwards, when you've done that, then you can click on one tap enhance to enhance the image, or you can edit the basic settings, add text and things like that. But I think the image is good already, so I'm going to save it. Okay, I normally save it just as normal quality because you don't need a really big image, and basically save that to your computer. Okay, and after when you've done that, then we can go back to our website and we can basically turn on the builder. So after when we've turned on our builder, then this is basically a row. We're going to be adding in a row background. So click on the row options, and we want to change the row width to full width, so it goes all the way across from here to there. Click on styling, and for the background type, we're going to select image. Okay, but you can also select gradient. You can also add a video, so you can upload your video here. And if you want to know where I get my videos from, check out my website, and go to my blog post and click on my ultimate list for building WordPress websites. Okay, and I'll list everything that I use. So let's go back here, and you can also add in a slider as well. Okay, and to do that, make sure to also set the image size to original and set it to full cover if you do add a background slider. Okay, and we're going to go to image, and then we're going to go to browse library. Okay, don't click on upload because it will automatically resize your image and it will make it really blurry. So upload that, select files, and we're going to upload the hero image, this one here, 1800 times 1000, and open. And when you've done that, insert file URL, and it should show up. Okay, if it doesn't show up, then what I recommend is just to click on save or to refresh a page and then redo it. Okay, and once you've done that, then for the background mode, select parallax scrolling. And if you don't want the parallax scrolling feature, another popular option is the full cover option, which basically means that image is just static. Okay, it will just basically stay there. Okay, and that's a popular option. For the background position, you want to select center. Okay, and then after when you've done that, then we can click on save. Okay, so as you can see, there's a little gap up here, and we want to close that gap. So let's click on save first, and let's close the builder. Okay, to do that, we need to go to edit page. Okay, and then I want you to scroll down to Themify custom panel. And then for the content width, you want to set full width. Okay, so you'll need to do this if you want to set a hero image on all your pages. Okay, so update that. Okay, and then click on view page, and hopefully that gap will be gone. Okay, now what we need to do is to add in some text and button in there. So turn on the builder, and then what we're going to be doing is dragging in a text module. And then you can type in your title. So I'm going to type in Parallax. And then I want you to highlight that text and click on toggle toolbar. Okay, so I want you to select heading 1 for this. And you can preview that to see what that sort of looks like. Okay, looks pretty good. And you can sort of set the heading 1 style in the actual module itself, in the text module itself. You can go to styling, and then you can click on the heading tab, click on that, and you can actually set the font color and things like that here. Okay, what this basically does, it will edit the heading 1 for this particular module only. So sometimes it's convenient, but I recommend setting it for the whole entire website universally, because it's more convenient and it'll save you time later on. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete that and leave it like that for now. And then we're going to set it in about 2 minutes. Okay, so we're just going to click on save for now, and then what I want you to do is drop in a text module, and then this will be your sub headline. Okay, so infinite possibilities. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to go to styling, and for the font, I'm going to set the font size to 24 pixels. And you can go to text to sort of preview that. Okay, and that's what I want you to do for now. Okay, and then click on save. Next part will be adding your button. Drop in a button module. The text, we're going to type in begin, and for your link, okay, so wherever you want to link your button to, then this is where you paste in your link. Okay, so for example, I want to link it to Apple. Okay, I'm just going to copy that link, paste that link into there, and then if it's an external link, then I'd suggest you select open link in a new tab. Okay, so I might just do that and give that a little preview. Okay, so you've got your color options here, you've got your style, the button options here, but I don't really like the color options here, so I'm going to show you how to style it properly. Okay, so go to styling and click on button link here, and what we're going to be doing is changing the button so it's going to look like this. Okay, so it's a outline, transparent one. Okay, so for the background color, you want to set that to transparent. So this is basically the transparent meter thing, so drag it down to 0. For the background hover, this is basically the color when you hover over it, so this is white, so change that to white. For the link color, this is basically will be white, okay, like that. And for the color hover, this will basically be gray. Okay, so when you hover over it, it turns gray, that link. So go back here, and the color we're going to set is 3B. And for the decoration, keep that as is. Okay, as you can see, you don't have a border yet, so you need to scroll down. And for your border, we want it to have a white border. And you also want to set the thickness of the border to 2 pixels. And there you go. Okay, looking great. Click on save. Okay, so now the cool part is, let's click on the row options, click on styling, scroll down, and I want to set the font color to white. Okay, so what you'll see now is everything inside the row will turn white. Okay, so this is just a more efficient way of doing things, and that's how I do it, so I recommend it doing that way. And then you want to align everything in the middle, so we just align everything in the center like that. Okay, now we want to add some spacing on the top and on the bottom. Okay, to do that, basically we've got the padding and we've got the margin. Okay, so both of them add space, but they're a little bit different. Okay, so imagine that there is an invisible box around this image. Okay, and margin basically adds space outside that invisible box. So if we deselect that and we set in 5% here, then it'll add space outside the invisible box. Okay, so you don't want that space, so make sure to delete that. Okay, and deselect this one and then put in 17.5% padding to the top. Okay, so it adds space inside that invisible box, and that's what you want. Okay, and for the bottom, 17.5 as well. Okay, I use percentages because it is more mobile responsive. It resizes better than using pixels. Okay, and once you've done that, then we can basically click on save. Okay, now the next part, we're going to click on save. We're going to click on close. Okay, so let's set the heading 1 tag, the font universally. So click on customize. Okay, and then click on headings. Okay, so this is the heading 1, and if you need to double check, you can right click and inspect that, and you should see heading 1 there. Okay, so what I want you to do is click on this and change the size to about 80 pixels, okay, or whatever you want, and change it to the font that you've selected. My one is Open Sans, and I also want to change the font weight to bold, okay, to make it stand out a little bit more. And like I said, it gives it a little bit more hierarchy. For example, this is most important, second most important, and third most important. Okay, and that is basically it. Okay, and then you can click on save, and then you can close it. Okay, so what I want you to do now is turn on the builder, and I want to move this infinite possibilities up a little bit. Okay, so I want you to double click on the text module, click on styling, and then for the margin, deselect that, and you can actually type in -2%. Okay, and that will basically move it up. Okay, so it minuses the space in between. Click on save. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now I'll show you how to set the transparent header. So for every page that you want to set transparent, you need to go to edit page, and then scroll down to the Themify custom panel. Click on the page appearance, scroll down, and then for the header background type, select transparent header. Okay, so you can also edit the header link color if you need to. So after, click on update, and then we're going to view the page. Okay, so that's a really nice transparent header now. And I also have a really important tip. Okay, sometimes you might have chosen an image that sort of a different color and you won't be able to see your menu items up here. Okay, so one way of doing that, of making it stand out a lot more, is actually adding in an overlay color. Okay, so you can go to the row options and go to styling. For the row overlay, you can set in a more darker color. So set it to black, change the opacity, and as you can see, your whites will stand out more. Okay, because you've set in an overlay color and it's darker, so that will stand out more. So your menu item will stand out a lot more. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. But the best way I recommend is using a gradient. Okay, because with a gradient, you're able to set it just for the top part. Okay, make it darker just for the top part. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on this black thing here, click on that, and then drag the opacity down to about 25%, okay, and then click on this white one here, and then drag it up to about 20%, okay, and then once you've done that, then drag the opacity down here to 0. So what that does is basically it adds the darker shade up here only, okay. So for example, it goes darker like that, okay. So imagine that it's darker up there, then it will make your white stand out more. So let's click on save that, and close that, okay, and that's pretty much it, and everything looks great. Okay, and one more thing that I want to show you is that you can actually add in animation effects. So if you double click on that, you've got your animation effects here. Okay, and what I recommend is just keeping it really simple. Okay, so for example, I would just set in like a fade in. This one might be just 1 second delay, and then I might set in another fade in, which will be a 1.5 second delay. Okay, 1.5 second delay, and the button might be a 2 second delay. Okay, and that actually gives it a really cool effect when people land on your website. Set that to 2 and save it, close it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, amazing. Okay, so congratulations. That is probably the hardest part of the tutorial, and we're going to be moving on to the next part, the quote section. Okay, so we're going to add in a quote. So let's turn on the builder again, and I want to set the background color to a dark gray. So click on the row options and click on styling. For the background color, set it to 2929. Okay, that makes it dark, and then click on save. Okay, now I want you to drop in a text module, and I'm just going to go to my demo website and copy over that quote. So copy that to your clipboard, go back here, and you don't want to just paste that in. Okay, anytime when you're pasting in something from another website, try to paste it in as plain text. So click on this icon here, close that, and then you can paste it in. Okay, so that will remove any styling on that text. Okay, so once you've done that, then I want you to go to the styling tab, and for the font, because it is a quote, I might set it to a different font, so PT Serif. Okay, and then we can change the font size to about 24 pixels, and you can give that a little preview. Okay, I'm just going to change that color to white here. Okay, that looks good. Now I also want to align it into the center like that, and then I want to make this text a little bit smaller here. So what I do is I'm going to change that to a heading 6. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go to styling and go to heading. Okay, and I'm going to set the heading 6 here. Okay, because I'm probably not going to be using this much on the website, and this is just a little bit more convenient sometimes. So PT Serif, and you want to change the font size to 14 pixels, which makes it a little bit smaller. Give that a little preview, see if that works. Okay, that looks pretty good, and that's it. So click on save, and all we need to do is add some spacing. Okay, so to do that, I just go to the row options, go to styling, untick this, and for the padding, I want to set it to about 5% to the top, 4% to the bottom. Okay, and that is pretty good. And obviously you can add some animation if you want to, and click on save. Okay, so this section you can put in a customer quote, what you do, your mission statement, or anything like that. Okay, we're going to move on to the next part. So the next part, we're going to add in a little about me section, and to do that we need to set the column to this one here, the last one. Click on that. So you basically have one small column here and one big column. So this column, we're going to drag in an image module, drop that in there, and for your image URL, you want to click on Browse Library, Upload Files, select Files, and then you can put in your image, but if you've been following along, then you can download this image here, stare into the distance, click on open, and then all you need to do is insert file URL and give that a little preview. And you've got a lot of settings here, but I don't think it's really necessary. So we're just going to click on save. And then the next part, we're going to drop a text module here. Basically, we're going to type in about me, and then we're going to change that to heading 2. And then we're going to click on save. Okay, I'm not going to set it here because we're going to be using it quite often, so I want to set it universally. Set that in there, and then drop in a text module below here. Okay, and you can type in about yourself or about your company. So I'm just going to copy the text over from my demo and then paste as plain text and drop it in there like that. Give that a preview to see if that's what you want, and that's done. Okay, really simple. Click on save. Okay, and what you can also do is you can also change the column width just by pulling it like that. Okay, so that's really useful, and that looks about good to me. And what you can also do is hover over here and select the column alignment. So it'll basically align the image and the text on the right hand side here to the center. Okay, so that looks really nice. So once you've done that, then what we're going to do is I'm going to click on save for now. And let's go and edit the heading 2 tag, and I'll also show you where you can edit the body text fonts and stuff like that. So close that, and we want to go to customize, and what I want to do is I want to go to headings. Okay, this is the heading 2 tag, heading 2. Make sure that is Open Sans or whatever your default font is. And also I'm going to change the color to about a 4D, which is sort of a dark gray. And that makes it a little bit lighter, and I like that a little bit more. And I also want to change the font weight to, I think, 500. Again, that looks about good. And then we minimize that. And then if you want to change the body font, click on body font, and change it to whatever font that you've chosen. Okay, by default, again, it's already Open Sans. And make sure to don't change it, the body font, to anything bigger than 25 pixels. I recommend 16, okay, but by default it's 16 already anyway. And then you can also change the color, but I find a light gray color really nice and professional. Okay, but if you do want to change it, maybe change it to something like a 4D or something like that. Okay, which is also a dark gray. Okay, but I'm going to keep it as default. That looks pretty nice. And then click on save and publish. Close that. And then we're going to scroll down. We're going to turn on the builder again, and we're going to add some padding. Okay, and I've also got something cool to show you. Okay, so let's add some padding first. So options, deselect that, and then for the padding I want to set around 6% for the top and around 4% for the bottom, and then click on save. Okay, and a really cool thing is, let's say you made a mistake, okay, then you can actually undo things, and you can also redo it as well, and you can also save this revision. Okay, so for example, you're on Microsoft Word, you can save it. Well, the same for this builder. You can click on save revision, add a comment to it, about, and click on OK. And if you have any troubles, then you can load revision. Okay, so after we've done that, we're going to add the services section. Okay, so we're going to click on the row options, and what we want to do is set in a background color. Now we want to set in a light gray, so F6, and that's a really nice gray to separate the content, to make things professional. Okay, so once you've done that, then click on save, and we're going to drop in a title, so text. This one will be services, or it could be work, or anything that you want. Set it to heading 2, and then click on save. Okay, so it's very convenient that you've set in the heading 2 already, so you don't have to do it again. And then what we need to do is drop in a feature module below that, and for the feature title, you want to type in your service or whatever you want. So for example, it might be web design. Oops, And then here you want to paste in a little description. So I'm going to copy over some text here. Copy that. Select the paste as text. Paste that in there. And then scroll down. And then you can give that a preview. And that's what it currently looks like. But for the layout, you want to select this one, the last one. And then we can add in an icon. Okay, or you can add in an image. That's up to you. But I think icon is really good for this server section. So for your icon, click on Insert Icon, and I want to look for a paintbrush. So scroll down, starts with P, okay, paintbrush, and then you can give that a preview. Okay, I want to change the color of that icon to a light gray, 9494, which looks great. Preview. And you can also add a circle around it if you want to by setting in the percentage, the stroke to about 2%, for example, 100%. Change the color to the same one. Give that a preview. Okay, so you can also do that if you want to as well. Okay, so I'm gonna delete that actually. Change the icon to medium. And what you might also want to do is also link that services to another page where maybe you describe a little bit more about your service. Yeah, okay, so for example, I'm just going to copy this URL in here, paste it into there, and if you give that a preview, you'll see that the link changes to red. Okay, if you want to change the link color, which I recommend you do, go to styling and scroll down to link. Okay, for the link color, I might set it to 4D, like that, which looks good. And for the color hover is basically when you hover over that link, then you can change the color. I might change that to 3B. And for the text decoration, set that to none, and then click on save. And hopefully that's all good. Okay, that's all good. And the next step is really simple. Hover over feature, and let's say you want to have 3 feature modules. Select the 3 columns, and then hover over here on the right, duplicate, and duplicate again. And all you need to do is drag it and drop it to the section that you want. Okay, and to change it, just double click it, and then you can change the title and text as well as the icons, and then click on save. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do that. Okay, that's done. Now we need to add some padding. Okay, so click on the row options, go to styling, and let's make sure everything's in the center. Align that. And for the padding, I want to set around 5% to the top and about 2% to the bottom. Okay, and then click on save. Now the next part we're going to be doing is the gallery section. Okay, really simple. First of all, drop in a text module, type in gallery, set this to heading 2, and click on save. Okay, so for your gallery, there are basically 3 options. You can use a gallery module, which I'll be using, or an image module, or a slider module. Okay, so for a slider, you'll have a slider, and then people can click on that, and it'll open up in a lightbox as well. It's pretty simple to use, but I just like the gallery option because it's nice and simple, and it just works well. So drop that in. And for the gallery layout, select grid, insert gallery, and then I want you to upload files. Select files, and then after that I want to click on gallery. Okay, so these are the images that I have cropped already to about 1000 times 666. So there are 6 images, and I recommend cropping them all to the same size so everything's consistent and professional. Open that, and it should take a minute or 2 to upload. Okay, so when that is done, click on add to gallery and then update gallery, and then you can preview that to see what that sort of looks like. Okay, so you've got 6 images, and you can select this to display the image title, so give that preview. Okay, you can do that if you want but the important part is setting the thumbnail width. Okay, so for the thumbnail width, you want to divide it by 2 of the original width. Okay, so for example, 1000 divided by 2, which equals 500. and you want to make sure that you divide by 2 for the height as well. Okay, so that makes sure everything is resized proportionally and it won't appear blurry. Okay, so 666 divided by 2 would be about 333, and then when you've done that, then you can preview that. Okay, so it can be divided by 3 or divided by 4 depending on what you want, but it has to be the same. Okay, if you divide this by 3, then you're going to divide the height by 3 as well. Okay, and for the columns, because we've got 6 images, I want to set 3 columns, 3 images per column, sorry, and that will look really nice. Okay, and once you've done that, I'm just going to deselect that actually. Then you can just click on save pretty much. Okay, and that is done. And then we're going to go to the row, add some padding, styling, align everything to the center, scroll down to padding, deselect that, and we're going to set padding to about 5% as well to the top, 2% to the bottom, and then click on save. Okay, so let's click on save and let's see if that opens up in a lightbox. Close that, and let's click on that image. Okay, that works well, and that's really nice. Okay, so you can add this gallery module to any page that you want. So let's turn on the builder and let's move on to the next section. So that will be our video. So for the video part, I'm going to upload a background, okay, that you see here, okay, a parallax background. So let's go here, go to the row options and go to styling. And then for the background image, I want to browse library, upload files, select files, okay, and go to the content folder that you downloaded. So click on background video, background for YouTube video, open, and then click on insert file URL. Okay, and once that is done, then set it to parallax scrolling, and for the background position, maybe center. And what I want to do is add a overlay color. Okay, so I want to set this to black and then change the opacity down to about 20% or so. And for the hover color, I want to set that to a little bit darker. Okay, so I want to set the opacity to about 65 or 70%. Okay, so it goes darker when people hover over it. So if you save that, then when you hover over it, it goes darker. Okay, so when people are viewing the video, the focus is on the video. Okay, not focusing on the background. Okay, the background will look great when you're just scrolling, but when you're watching the video, then it'll be focused on the video. So let's drop a video module, okay, in there. And this is so easy. So you just need to grab a video. So just go to a video, YouTube video. This is a video I found, it's pretty cool. Copy the URL, and all you need to do is just to paste it in here, okay? And then all you need to do is click on save. And that is done, okay? And we'll probably need to add in some padding on the top and bottom as well. So go to your row options and go to styling. For your padding, deselect that, and we want to set about 6% to the top this time, and we want to set about 3% to the bottom. Click on save, click on save again, and then we can close it. Okay, so let's have a little preview. Okay, when you hover over it, it goes darker, and let's see if that video works. Okay, so that's awesome, and that's really simple. Okay, so let's pause that video and scroll down. Now the next part will be the blog section here. Okay, but before we can actually add in a blog section, is we need to add in the blog post itself. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, how to add in a blog post, how to add in images and video as well. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go to our dashboard. So go to our dashboard and hover over post, click on it, and then we want to delete the sample post, so trash that first, and click on trash, and delete that. Okay, so to add in a blog post, click on add new, and then all you need to do is basically just to type in the title, By the World. Okay, and you can paste in your text here, your blog post. I'm just going to grab some text. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this text here, copy that, and I'm going to paste it in here as plain text. Okay, so if you want to link it to another page or another website, highlight the text, click on insert link, and you can paste in the URL here. Or if it's another page or post, you can type in the title. But what I like to do is click on the link options here. And for example, if you want to link it to this website here, copy the link, paste it into there, and you can open link in a new tab. But if you have pages and posts already on your website, then you can just select that from here. Okay, that's pretty cool. So add link, and to add in an image, we're going to hit enter there. We're going to paste in an image between here. So all you need to do is click on add media, and we can just upload files, select files, okay, and click on the blog folder. And for this one, we're going to select this one, blog 3, body image, and I've cropped this image to 1165 x 775. Okay, click that image and open, and then all you need to do is click on insert to post. Okay, and that image will appear. Okay, it's a really small image, but you can edit that by clicking on edit, changing the size to full size, and if you want to align it into the center, you can click on center, update, done. Okay, super easy. And if you want to resize it, you can just sort of drag it like that. Okay, and a video is even easier. Click on enter, and let's say we got a new video, this one here. We can copy that URL and basically just paste that URL in here. So in about a second, it will load up. Okay, super easy, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Now we need to add in a category. So to do that, click on add category, and this one might be travel. So type in travel and click on add new. Okay, and for your tags, it might be Peru, and this might be the place that you're traveling to or something like that. And then you can separate it by columns, by comma, and click on add, and that will add in your tags. Okay, tags will basically help people who are trying to search for your specific blog post, and it'll help for search engines as well. Okay, now we want to set a featured image. Okay, the featured image is something like this, but this is the image in the blog post. Okay, you can set it to the same one, but we're going to set in a new one. So set that in, upload files, select files, and we're going to select this one, blog 3 featured image. Click on open. So I've cropped the image to 1165 times 665. Okay, so that's the ideal crop size, and you should crop it to that size as well. So set that in, and then pretty much you can just publish that. Okay, and that is done. So we can view that blog post, and we can have a look at what it looks like. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's done. And what I wanted to show you is how to actually sort of style it. Okay, so if you want to change some of these fonts, and you want to change the color, or if you want to change this style so it just shows a date, and I'll also show you how to where you can customize the widget area here as well. But before that, I'm going to add in additional 2 blog posts. So you can actually hover over here and click on post. Okay, so that's a shortcut. Okay, so I'm going to quickly add those in. Okay, so I've added in my last blog post. Now what I'm going to show you is how to edit this post date thing, because that's what a lot of people ask me to do. Okay, and it's really simple. So you can go to dashboard, and then hover over Themify Ultra, click on Themify settings, and then you want to click on default layouts, and then scroll down and go to default single post layout. Okay, and you'll see the post date thing. Okay, so you can either hide that date, or you can display it just as a inline text instead of that circle style. So you can select that and you can save it. Okay, and let's go back to our blog post. So you can click on all post here, and then let's go to view that. Okay, and that will be disappeared. Okay, so you've got your date like that. And yeah, so let's show you how to edit it. Okay, so go to customize, and once that is loaded up, then we can go to post. Okay, because this is a blog post, so click on post, and basically this is a post title, so we can change the post title here. So click on post title, and we're going to change the color to maybe a 3B, oops, because we don't want to just like a black one. Okay, it's too dark, and that will be pretty good. Okay, it's like really dark gray, and that looks great. And you can edit the size and everything that you want. This is the post meta, and you can edit the post meta here. Okay, for the post date, you can click on post date, and then what you can do is you probably want to align it into the center. Click on that, and it will align in the center. You can change the size as well to size 14, like that, and that looks great. Okay, and what else you want to know? You probably want to know how to edit the styling for the sidebar here, and that is also really easy. So that is what we call the sidebar here. So click on that, and you're able to edit the sidebar fonts and also the colors. Okay, and if you're scrolling down, you've also got the comment section. If you want to change the comment button color, you'll need to click on forms, and this will be the form button. Okay, and you can change the color here. Okay, so you've changed the color. Okay, I'm going to keep it as default, and then that's about it. Okay, so I'm going to save it and publish and close it. And now what I want to show you is the widget area. So let's go to our dashboard here, and then we can go to appearance, click on widgets, and then what we can do is arrange the sidebar. Okay, so I'm going to actually open this up in a new tab so you can see what is happening. So click on view. Okay, so if we look at the sidebar here, you've got the search, recent posts, recent comments, and as you can see. And then what we want to do is I'm going to remove these, delete that, delete the recent comment. You can keep those if you want to, but I want to delete it, so I'm going to delete that. So I'm going to leave the search and the categories there, and I'm going to put in featured post. So drag it up and put it into the middle, and you can just change the title to maybe popular posts. You can also set in a thumbnail as well by selecting this, and then you've got a range of options here. Click on save, and then that is done. Okay, so let's preview that and see if that's changed. Okay, that is pretty good. So you can add a lot of different widgets here, and I'll probably be uploading more videos on how to customize this section. For example, how to add an image, how to add in your Instagram feed, Facebook stuff, and Twitter and things like that. So make sure to subscribe for more videos. Okay, but I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and make sure you've saved that. Okay, and then we're going to go to visit our website. Okay, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom section, and we're going to add in our blog post. Okay, finally. So we're going to turn on the builder, and then what we want to do is we want to drop in a text module, and we want to type in blog. Okay, or you can type in latest news, whatever you want, and then we're going to set heading 2 tag, save it, and then to show your blog post, we can drop in a post module. Okay, just underneath, so you can show this on any page you like. Okay, so the post layout, if you preview that, this is the current post layout. Okay, I want to select this one. This one is called the, I think it was the grid 3 layout, so as you can see, and you can set the specific categories you want to show, limit the number of posts, but I want to display none for the content. Excerpt is basically a little summary of it. Okay, give that a preview, and if that's what you like, you can keep it like that. I want to get rid of the post meta, which is this section here, and you can hide that and basically click on yes, I think. Okay, so that looks about great. Now let's go to the row and let's align everything in the center. Then let's add some padding, deselect that, and the padding that we're going to set in here is about 5% to the top and about 2% to the bottom. Okay, and that should be good. So click on save. Okay, so that's looking great, and the next part we're going to be doing is the contact section. So we're going to be adding in a Parallax background as well. So if we go to our home page on our demo site, scroll down, a Parallax background and some icons. Okay, so go to row options and go to styling, background image, click on browse library, upload files, select files, and then after when you've done that, go back to the contents folder and select contacts background, click on open, and then insert file URL, select to parallax scrolling, select the background position to center, and let's add in some padding now. So we're going to set in some padding, deselect that, we're going to change that to about 10% to the top, 10% to the bottom, so we can see more of that image. Scroll down, and that's about it. Okay, we also want to set in an overlay color, so the text in here is a little bit more visible. So I want to change that to a little bit darker. So change it to black here, and then change the opacity to about maybe 10% or something, or 20%. Okay, and for the hover overlay color, you want to make it a little bit darker, so maybe about 30% or 35%, and then click on save. Okay, and then you can drop in a text module, and this will be contact heading 2. Save it, and then let's drop in the icon module. Okay, icon will be dropped in like that, and the icon we're gonna put in the address first. So we're gonna select icon, and let's look for a map. So M. Scroll down, and that one looks okay. Might select a white map, and for the label, or you might select Melbourne in Australia. Click on preview, and that looks about great. Okay, and then you can link it up if you want to. You can also change the button style, but I think that's pretty decent. So we're going to click on save, and really easy again, you just need to set in how many columns you want, so 3, and duplicate these ones. So duplicate it, duplicate it again, and basically arrange it here, and then basically you can just double click and change it. Okay, so this one will be a email address, so I'm looking for an E envelope, this one here. Type in my email, change the color, maybe a green one, click on save, and lucky last will be a phone number, might change that to orange, insert icon, and let's look for a P. Okay, so select the phone maybe, okay, and type in your phone number, and then click on save. Okay, and now all we need to do is align everything in the center, row options, styling, and let's change it to font to be white. Okay, and then align it to the center, save it, and that is complete. So we can save that. And if you want to drop a map module, then all you need to do is drop a map underneath and set in an address. It can be your street or anything like that. I'm just typing in Hawaii. And for your zoom, let's zoom it to 3. You might want to zoom it a little bit closer. And as you can see, there's something that went wrong. and basically you'll need to set in a API. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. But before we do, I'm going to set the height to about 400, and I'm going to save it. Okay, and then I'm also going to set the options here to full width so the map goes all the way across. So save that, and save that, and close it. Okay, so the map isn't showing up right now. Don't worry about that. Let's go to our dashboard. Go to Themify Ultra, Themify settings, and then what you need to do is go to Google Map, and you'll need to get an API key. Okay, so click on Generate API Key, and basically you'll need to log into your Google account. Okay, and then you need to click on Get a Key, and basically it might take a few minutes maybe. Okay, so we can create a new project and create and enable. Okay, once that is done, it says you're ready. Then all you need to do is copy the code. So copy that API code, and you can close that now and go back here and paste that into there. Click on save, and pretty much it should work. Okay, so let's visit our website, and let's scroll down to the bottom, and you should see the map work like that. Okay, and that is pretty good. So okay, and I don't know why that went bold, but if you do want to change the thickness of that font, then we can go back to customize, and that one was a grid 3, okay, if you remember correctly, and we can edit that font, so don't worry about that. So let's go to scroll here, post, and that was a grid 3, so click on grid 3 post title, scroll down, and you want to change the font weight to normal, and then that will change. Okay, you can also change the size here as well. Save, close that, and that is pretty much complete. Okay, our website is pretty much complete. Okay, so there are still a few things I want to show you, which is really important. One of them is the sticky header. So if you go to the blog post, and you should see the sticky header here is white. Okay, you don't want that because you can't see it. So if you go to customize, and then you can go to sticky header, you can basically set the background color. So scrolling down, you want to change the color to 3B, okay, and click here, and basically the color will stay the same. Okay, but I like to add a little bit of transparency. Let's change it to about 75% or something like that. That looks pretty good, and then we can click on save. Now once that is done, we can close that. Then we can go back to our home page, and we're going to set in the row anchors. Okay, so the row anchors are basically when you click on the menu link, it will scroll down to the specific section you set it to. To do that, we can turn on the builder, and basically we need to set the name for the row. So click on the row options, and for your row anchor, you want to name this section about. Okay, because we've named the menu about to be about as well. So when you click on about, it'll scroll down to about. Okay, but you don't want to have the hashtag hash in front of it. Okay, click on save. Now the next one will be services, gallery, and blog and contact. So click on the row options here. This one will be services, and it's really important that it is exactly the same as the one that you've set in. Okay, services, and next one will be gallery. Save it. Next one will be blog. Options. And lucky last will be contact. Okay, scroll down to contact, and save that. Okay, save it, and then let's close it. And before you try anything, let's refresh the page first. Okay, so let's go back here, and if you click on the about, then it should scroll down to about. So as you can see, the URL here is hash about. Services, it'll scroll to services and it'll change. Gallery, blog, contact. Okay, now one thing is if we actually resize the screen, okay, resize it, you'll see that the text is not as responsive, and that's not very great, and the background doesn't look that great either. So I'll show you how to fix that really quickly in about 2 minutes. So I'm going to resize that back, go to customize, and then what you want to do is you want to click on styling mobile. So click on that, click on headings, heading 1 font, which is this heading 1 font, and you want to change the size to 50. Okay, so what that does is when people are on a mobile, then the title of the heading 1 will be 50 pixels. Okay, but if they're on tablet, then the size will still be 80, desktop will be 80. Okay, but when it's on mobile, then it will be changed to 50. So you can take a look at anything else on your website that needs changing, and you can edit it specifically for mobile devices. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Save it, close it, and now let's fix the background. Okay, so this is really cool. So let's go to turn on the builder, and then what we want to do is to duplicate the row. Okay, duplicate the entire first row. So duplicate, and I want you to scroll down to the second one, okay, the duplicate one. Click on row options, go to styling, and I want you to change the background mode to full cover. And basically what that does is full cover is a little bit more responsive, and when it resizes, it looks a lot nicer. Okay, so you'll see in just a moment. And what I also want to do is change the padding to about 25% to the top, and also 10% for the bottom. Okay, so do that, and then the most important part is setting the visibility. So you want this row to be visible on mobile devices only. Okay, you don't want to be visible on tablet or desktop, so hide it for both that and save. Now let's go back to the original row, go to options, visibility, and you want to hide it for mobile. Okay, so save it, and let's close it. Okay, save it first and close it. And once that is done, then if we actually resize to mobile size, okay, then you'll see that it is really nice. Okay, so the background is really responsive, the text here is also really responsive. So you can apply that same principle to anywhere on your website. Okay, now the last thing that I want to show you is how to actually add in new pages, and something really cool as well. So to add in a new page, you can click on here, hover over here, shortcut, click on page. Let's say you want to create a new service page number 1, and click on publish. Okay, really simple, view page, there's a new page, and it will appear up here if you've set it to automatically appear. But a really cool thing is you can turn on the builder, and you've got a lot of layouts that you can actually import. Okay, so if we go to layouts here, you can click on load layout, and you've got dozens and dozens of layouts that you can import. Okay, so the reason why I didn't show you guys this at the very start is because if you've imported it, then you wouldn't know how to really use the builder and how to use the theme, and you just won't enjoy building a website and using it, and in the end you probably just give up. Okay, so I want you guys to learn how to use it, and then you can do this later. Okay, so if you click on Parallax, they've got some awesome layouts. For example, this one here, you can replace it, and it should take a second to reload. Okay, so this is the Parallax layout, and you'll notice that it doesn't go all the way across, and there's a white space here on top. Okay, you won't notice it because it's also white, but if you save it and close it, we need to go to edit page, and then you'll need to go to page options here, set it to full width for the content width, update it, and basically you can view page, and then you have a really awesome layout that you can basically turn on the builder and update anything that you want. Okay, so replace the image, replace the text, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so to create a drop down menu, really simple. You can hover over here, click on menus. Okay, this is a shortcut, and you want that to be a drop down of services. Just drag it and drop it. It has to be sort of like indent, so it has to move in like that. Okay, that means it's below services. Save it and visit website, and then when you hover over it, then you've got your service page like that. Okay, and you can also build your layouts and load it on separate pages or different websites just by saving your layouts. And also you can export your layouts as well, and that's a really another cool feature of this builder. And the last thing to finish off the tutorial is to add in our favicon logo. So that's the logo up here, as you can see. Okay, and we can go to dashboard, and then we can go to Themify Ultra, Themify settings, and then for the favicon, click on upload. Okay, I recommend uploading a PNG file again, and it has to be a size of 32 by 32 pixels. Okay, so click on that. If you've been following along, it's already included in the contents folder. Click on open, save it, visit website, and basically you've got your favicon. Okay, so basically the website is complete. Okay, so let's have a little look at our website, and that looks pretty awesome. We've got our footer section, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure to give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe for more videos. I'll be posting more videos, and also make sure to share the video with your friends. And if you have any questions, drop it in the comments section below, and let me know what other videos you want to see. And yeah, see you guys in the next tutorial.